Afternoon, guys. It's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter, and we're out on the urban trail, as you can see. You guys, you watch very closely, and I appreciate it. So, Jimmy, what do you carry in your car? Well, I have an older Jeep Commander. It's pretty cool. It's got every option known to mankind on it. And it's in pretty good shape, and I enjoy driving that. And of course, it's fully kitted out inside, and I have a Nissan Xterra, and I think it's like the last year they made them. But again, it's in good shape, and they're totally different. Nissan Xterra, it's a heavy-duty off-road vehicle. The Jeep is, it's sort of like an urban SUV, but they're both pretty cool. So, like, what do I keep in my vehicles? Okay, this is what I put in each of my vehicles. Okay, and what is it? It's a steel canteen. All right, stainless steel. I use an old sock just to bind it all together. I do have a dry bag where it is right now. Not so sure. So of course I have two tent pegs because they're easier to carry, and multi-purpose digging tool and so on. I don't have to make them. Pardon me. Okay, so I have these are like carabiners, but for those of you that are not the best with knot tying, they're really easy because you do a wrap, and then if you can look really closely, it locks in here at the bottom, and they work with just about any type of line that there is. Of course, your paracord is great. Bank line will work with that. They work with just about anything. Like over 7 millimeter, they're probably not going to help you too much, okay, in diameter, but they're really cool things, and they're made by a company, I think it's called Night Eyes, okay, Nite Eyes, pretty cool. So continuing on the outside, again, got my favorite rubber bands, love my rubber bands. I have a poncho. Okay, and a poncho is great, all right, because multi-purpose. I can use it, for rain gear. I can use it for a small shelter. I can, as I said, my bolo gear, one acts as a litter. So you can use it in many different ways. Poncho is a great thing to have. I have my steel canteen and my cup, all right, my stainless steel cup. And I'm going to do a video for you on water bottles and how to, like, what's the best way to go with them. I have to tell you, like, when you go in any store now, there's water bottles everywhere of all different makes. Nalgene, plastic, polycarbonate, aluminum, stainless steel. They're made of every material, but the trend seems to be on the stainless steel ones, that they're double walled and they're insulated more like a thermos. Okay, the problem with those is if you go to boil water in that type of double walled thermos type bottle, there's a good likelihood it will you'll have a bit of a explosion, if you will, okay? Because that air between the walls is going to heat up, it's going to expand, and it's going to break the integrity of that metal container, okay? And it could be dangerous to you. Now, there is a way around it by using the awl on your Swiss Army to puncture a hole in that wall, but then you're going to lose the insulating value of it. So when you're buying a water bottle, a steel one, you want to make sure that it's single-walled and it's simply a stainless steel vessel. If you're going to boil, make sure you take your cap off, you take your plastic cap off, so it's not going to melt, obviously. I have a life straw. these are great. I do like the GeoPress. I do it's the Grail GeoPress. I do like that, but they're expensive. They're probably $140 Canadian. You know, again, where I am, urban environment, I can break the trail, go to a 7-Eleven, and get myself a bottle of water if that's what I need to do. Again, even with the Life Straw, even with water tablets, even with bleach, nobody's drinking any water out of any river, creek, stream in Toronto. Okay, it's just a bad idea. All right, so when I get like up to the Algonquin series and we're up there in northern Ontario, are there, of course there's there's streams and creeks and things like that where we can get water, and of course I would filter it through a Life Straw, no problem there. I can boil, I can again use water tablets, I can use bleach, and purify my water for drinking. But in the city, you're not going to do that. And like I said, this is in my vehicle, so I never know where I'm going to be. So if I'm up in northern Ontario, this comes in handy. What else do we have in here? I put everything in old socks, and the reason for that is I don't like making noise. Okay, I'm kind of into noise discipline when I'm moving, because if I'm noisy, I don't get to see animals and birds. As you know, I like to watch birds and that type of thing. So I try and move as quietly as I possibly can, and that's why I like my wineskin, because it doesn't make any noise, no matter how much or how little water it has in it. So inside I have my Swiss Army Ranger, and these things are a robust tool. Okay, they're almost like you don't need a belt knife. They're that dependable, and they're that again well built. You can carve. Like I said, I don't baton knives, but there's really, I mean, this blade has got to be, it's got to be 4 inches long. Here we go again. Yeah, it's serrated. I know that Dexter just heard something there. I know some of you don't like serrated blades, but for me, they're the go-to, and that's just a lifetime of experience telling me that it's probably, for me, the best thing. It does have a locking blade. It's a really good lock. There's 2 ways to unlock it. You can use the liner lock. Swiss Army knives push to the right. Most American, Canadian, US knives, they push to the left to unlock it. But if you look at the logo, if you push that down, it unlocks the blade. It is one-hand opening. You can open it. Again, one-hand opening can be important at times, especially in times of an injury. So what else does it have on it? Typical loadout. It has the bottle opener on it with the wire stripper. But if you look at it closely, those of you that know Swiss Army, this is actually a Wenger type of bottle opener. Okay, a little bit different, and does have the Swiss Army can opener. Of course, it has your toothpick, your tweezers. It does have a Phillips screwdriver. It does have an awl. Like I say, these are priceless. In fact, I use an awl probably more than I use the main blade of the knife. It does so many things. So, like I said, the Swiss Army, again, I don't represent Swiss Army. I'm saying from a lifetime of experience, I don't know where you're going to find it better. They're a bit expensive, but it's going to last you. Your grandchildren will have these knives. Okay, that said, what else is left? Okay, so I have a lighter, because a lighter is just the easiest way to get a fire going. So a lighter. I have a block of it. It's like a quick fire type of thing. It's really thin, like pieces of cardboard that are soaked in wax. So this will sustain a flame and help you get a fire going, especially if there's damp conditions. And of course, I've got a fire steel, all right, and I have a candle. Okay, so in Canada, you know, I watch a lot of American news, always interested in what's going on with my friends down south. And what I notice in the northern states in winter, like, you know, respectfully, you guys are just not prepared for winter the way we are up here. So I see highways getting closed down in upper New York State, you know, Ohio, places like that, and people trapped in their cars, and you know, they've got no water, they've got nothing to sustain themselves while the plows are trying to get through. Okay, a candle, a simple candle. Again, this is why your vehicle, I'm kind of on a tangent now, but why your vehicle, you have to have, the fuel's got to be there, the battery's got to be charged, you should have a little go bag in it. Maybe I'll do a video on that, but a simple candle will help you retain your body heat and keep the vehicle, help you keep warm inside that vehicle, okay? But you've got to crack the windows because you don't want carbon monoxide poisoning. So again, wax can be used for a number of things. It can help you with chapped lips. It can help you, prevent your knife from rusting, help you with a firearm in terms of you know, making the parts move a little bit better, protecting it from rust. So a candle's a really handy thing to have with you. And again, in a damp condition, it will sustain flame and help you get a little fire going. So that's what I carry. I know I'm short on the you know, like a headlight or something like that, but again, in my vehicle, I always have my cell phone. My vehicle's packed full of gear, but I always have a cell phone with me, and it has a flashlight on it. No, it's not that good, but I do have that. So I pretty much have the 5 C's covered. I do have my watch with my paracord, about 20 feet of paracord on that, so I do have a ridge line. So I have the 5 C's covered. And I said, you know, I'm a huge fan of Dave Canterbury. I think this guy is outstanding, and what he's done in terms of bushcraft, you got to check it out. Dave Canterbury, Pathfinder School. He's out of Ohio. He was on a show called Dual Survival, and it's magnificent. You have to watch it. So that said, my next video, I'm going to do it on different types of water bottles. We'll go through all the different types, and we'll show you that. I was going to do a video on like what can you get at Dollar General or Dollar Store for you know, to go for a hike. And I gotta tell you, the dollar store is like the $5 store now. So there's really not a lot of bargains there, and you're probably better off, like, you know, again, Canada, Canadian Tire, Princess Auto, even Walmart. But the Walmarts in Canada are not stocked as they are in the United States. Okay, enough said. So again, I thank you guys for watching all the time. Again, Jimmy Bremner and Dexter on the, come on, show me your face before we go. Okay. There he is, the boy. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Jimmy Bremner, Urban Trail, CTOA. I'm out.